Hey, welcome back. It's Chuck Easley, and this is Love is a Flavor. You're joining me tonight. I'm hanging out in the shed. The shed is the place where I write, cook, entertain. It's my happy place. It's a place for gathering. It's a beautiful night here in the shed. I'm hoping to do these talks every Sunday night, and I think I just came up with a good name for these talks. I think we're going to call them Shed Talks instead of TED Talks. Tonight we're going to talk about making wine by the numbers. It was sparked by a conversation I had with Stephen Marisu, a good friend of mine, the other day, about tasting notes and why we both don't do tasting notes. Typical tasting notes contain a bunch of numbers: bricks at harvest, total acid, pH, percentage of what type of oak. And then they usually have a description with some sort of descriptors like tastes like cherries and blackberries and banana cream pie. Tonight we're just going to talk about numbers, and one number in particular, and that's bricks at harvest. It seems to be the headliner in most tasting notes because many people believe that the bricks at harvest relates to the ripeness of the grapes. While it's true that as the bricks increases, generally the grapes are getting riper. Time's going on, the sugar's rising, but there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. The bottom line is you cannot determine the ripeness of the grapes, the physical maturity of the grapes, and how ready they are to make great wine by the bricks level alone. I want to share 3 photos with you now. One is grapes, and you can see that the seeds are kind of neon green. You can imagine biting into these, how bitter they would be and sour and astringent and drying. Definitely not ready to make great wine. The second photo, the grapes are a little bit further along. There's still pulp stuck to the seeds. They're starting to turn brown, but they still have some greenness to them, and they would definitely be astringent, sour, bitter, and not quite ready. The third is of physically mature grapes. The bottom seed is actually ideal. It looks like a roasted coffee bean. And if you could imagine biting into that, it has the same savory character as chewing on a roasted coffee bean. It's a little bit bitter, a little bit drying because of the tannin, but very savory and nutty, and the mouthfeel is just wonderful. Now here's the catch. All 3 of these sets of seeds are of Pinot Noir grapes at 23 bricks. The sugar level is exactly the same. The maturity of the grapes is a completely different story, though. The first set, those grapes, the skins would also likely be very thick and tough and astringent and sour. A little bit better with the second set of seeds. And the third, the fruit is likely fully mature, so all of the flavors are developed in the skins. The 23 bricks tells us that it's in the zone to make a wine that can be balanced with the right amount of alcohol. Ideally, the total acidity and the pH would be in the zone as well. What I want to impress upon you here is the limitless number of variables that go into what's needed to make an outstanding wine. And bricks is only a small part of it. In my example of the different seeds, the seeds in the first photo that were not physically mature were from a very warm area. What happens in that instance is the vines get so warm during the day that they basically shut down to protect themselves. So instead of the grapes ripening and developing flavors and maturing the skins and seeds, what happens is the grapes dehydrate, so it concentrates the sugar. A little less so in the second set, and in the third set, it's pretty close to ideal. We have physically mature seeds, the sugars are right, and I remember the grapes for that day, the acidity was right in the zone where we wanted it to be. So that was the day we decided to pick. Tonight I just wanted to plant a seed, to use a really bad pun, but plant a seed to get you thinking about wine and numbers and how important they are in deciding whether or not it's going to be a wine you like. I am very much in the camp of numbers are not going to tell you very much. If I can instill one thing right up front, taste the wine with an open mind, look for things that you can appreciate, and then if you'd like, after the fact, check out the numbers and see if they mean anything. They generally don't. Thanks for joining me tonight on my first Shed Talk, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.